Hi, I'm Dempsey Palat, and this week I'm reviewing... Now before we start off, as always, I just want to take a quick second to remind you guys to make sure you hit that like button if you like today's video, and if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well for more new movie-related content weekly. But without further ado, let's jump into today's film. The Argument was directed by Robert Schwartzman and stars Dan Fogler, Emma Bell, Tyler James Williams, Danny Pudi, Maggie Q, and Cleopatra Coleman. The film revolves around a couple that, after getting into a nasty fight at a dinner party, continuously tries to recreate that party with the help of their friends in an effort to figure out who was really right. This film was fantastic, and what I really liked about it was that it takes the whole idea and the premise of Groundhog Day and really turns it on its head. The film still does follow all the same characters as they relived the same events over and over again, but the thing that makes it really funny is the fact that here they're doing it all by choice. What starts off as a conflict between one couple spreads like wildfire to the other two couples that attend the dinner party. As time flies by and as the couples continue to try and fail to replicate the events of the first night, things get even more complicated. New revelations are made, new issues arise. At one point, things get so out of hand that you kind of forget what the argument was about in the first place. And I could say in that regard that I found the film to be very relatable. I mean, at one point or another, we've all been a part of a conflict that's gone on for so long that we forgot how it even started. And the film is very honest about that. I also really like the way that the film shows just how far certain people are willing to go to obtain validation. I mean, that's the plot in a nutshell. And I say people because it's not just our main characters who have something at stake from the argument. All of our characters have something to win or to lose. Each character has their own role in the film for sure, but they also have their own agendas that become more prevalent as things continue to escalate. And speaking of the characters, I mean, this cast is fantastic. Even the supporting cast, there's a group of people that come into play in the third act, and they are even incredible. I liked everybody in this film, but that being said, there were still some absolute standouts. Former Everybody Hates Chris star Tyler James Williams is easily one of those standouts, but that's because he's grown so much, literally. In the film, he's also kind of the antagonist, which, to my recollection, I've never seen him play before, with the exception of that one Key and Peele skit.
Did I do that?
My favorite performance, hands down, though, had to be Maggie Q's, and it's probably because she's rarely in comedies. Come to think of it, I can't really think of another funny film that she's been in besides this one. And even in this film, she's not necessarily funny. It's just that she's able to play it so straight while everybody else goes absolutely nuts. And that, in and of itself, is a true testament to how great of an actress she is. She literally steals every single scene she's in. Now, if I'm talking about things that I didn't really like about this film, my only real problem with it was the fact that at times it feels way too theatrical. It's my guess that they probably do that on purpose, and it kind of hints at what the ending of the film is. But that's neither here nor there. I mean, it doesn't really affect the film. Another thing that doesn't really affect the film, but that I wasn't personally a fan of, was the main character, Dan Fogler's character. Not that I had a problem with the performance, I just didn't like the character. For one thing, he's very self-aware, and he's also a writer. And I'm just never a fan of when films have their main characters as writers or directors. I think that's just way too on the nose. Yeah, that's the best way that I could describe it, and once again, it had nothing to do with the film. It's just a personal preference of mine, something that I personally don't like to see in films, but I can't emphasize enough that I still, even with those problems that I had, I still found the film to be pretty good. Despite it feeling theatrical, I also found it very interesting how the film had a definitive rhythm and melody to it, almost like a musical, but I think that's just director Robert Schwartzman's musical roots bleeding through. Disregarding the fact that he's related to Francis Ford Coppola and that the genius is probably genetic, he's also the lead singer of the band Rooney. And I always find it fascinating whenever a musician makes the leap from music to film, whether it be in front of the camera or behind it, because there's always this lingering musical influence, and sometimes it's injected consciously, sometimes it's injected subconsciously. Whatever the case it is here, it absolutely works. And it's particularly noticeable during the film's montage scene, when it's revealed that the argument is being reenacted more times than anybody expected. Overall, with a fun plot, great characters, and even greater laughs, this is one argument I'd gladly revisit. And for that, I'm going to give it 4 stars.
So that's why we're here.
Apologies if I sound stuffy, my allergies just kicked in. But what I did want to say was that there's a lot of content out there this weekend. Tenet's in wide release now. The 2nd season of The Boys is out on Amazon. The new Avengers game is out. This is not an ad for any of that stuff, because I don't know if any of that stuff is good. But you know what I do know is good? This film. It's totally under the radar, yet it's absolutely fun and absolutely worthy of your time. And if you don't agree with me, let's argue about it in the comments section. In all seriousness, though, if you have seen this film, which I highly recommend, let me know what you thought about it down below in the comments section. Did you love it? Did you hate it? I love to read and respond to all of your comments. Probably one of the favorite things that I love about having a community in general. Yeah, once again, if you like this video, please make sure to hit that like button. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more new movie-related content weekly. I'm always working on new stuff, and I have something that I'm currently working on, another review for you guys to look forward to over the next couple of days. And I don't know, I should probably get back to work on it. So until next time, I'm Dempsey Pulot. Take care.